Hello Libra, welcome. This is your new moon reading for August. This is a general reading for all Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. So if it resonates, terrific. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Maybe there's a message located in your other signs. So we all know who we are in the story. Let's keep that in mind. These messages are for the greatest and highest good of all of our Libras. All right, dear universe, I can feel you're ready. All right, there's a disconnect going on with some of you Libras. All right, dear universe, what messages do you have for our dear Libras for this new moon for August 30th, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs? What messages do you have, dear universe, for our Libras? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Libras. What messages do you have, dear Libras? Dear universe. The Libras need some insight. So I'm going to do what's called new beginnings for some of you. This is called the flying bird. I love this bird. Anyway, it kind of gives a nice picture of what's going on in your world, Libra. I feel like some weight has just been lifted off of you. Oh, now you can be a part of the group again. And that's for some of you. You're resisting some change, though. So I feel like if you continue to resist whatever change is upon you at this time, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Okay? And it's going to keep you really trapped and chained. And really take from you. So I think in your case, Libra, sometimes you don't listen to what others tell you or suggest to you. And I feel like in this case, you wanting to stand out in the crowd almost it hurt you. It didn't actually help you, not listening to what others were saying, because you just didn't want to go along with everybody. So, I think you learned a real heavy lesson. It kept you really trapped. But what I do see is that this is almost like a past energy. If it hasn't happened, it's going to happen, or it's recently happened. Because it's at the base of what's going on here. So I feel like something rocked you, but it was exactly what you needed for you to begin some sort of a healing. Now, I think there's part of you that is walking away. You want to let go of some of this heaviness, and you've got to release some of, I want to say, gosh, some of the hurt, some of the resentment, some of the anger, some of the guilt. You need to let that go, so that you really can accept the healing that's coming in. And again, you have a hard time, listening to really the voice that you need to listen to. You rebel rather than want to go along. And this isn't for all Libras. And I think part of it is this indecisiveness, but I feel like you have something stronger in your chart. Like you might have Leo in your chart, something that, makes you stand up and say, no, I'm going to do it my way, not your way. I feel like you have a lot of that kind of attitude. I don't want to say energy, just that pops up a lot. Like you're one of these people who you don't like authority. You don't like somebody telling you what to do. And this last time got you in trouble because you didn't listen to what others told you shouldn't have done. It's almost like they had vision where you did not. But that's now in the past. Okay, so let's move forward. And, there's still something you are hanging on to. It's like this last little piece of residue. To me, this 10 in this deck is like the 10 of swords. It's like there's something really, really painful that you need to face, that you are not wanting to face. But it's like the final piece of the puzzle that will free you, if that makes any sense. because, you know, you are at a point where once you put something to rest, a painful end, whether this is a relationship that you should not have gotten involved in and people warned you, whether it was some project that you wanted to get off the ground and people saw that as like it was going to be a financial disaster, you know, whatever that kind of energy is, I feel like once you accept the fact that it was a disaster, it didn't work out, and put that to rest, I see a new vision for you, which includes you with a lot of people. Quite possibly you might have something to do with the web. I always see this card as, you know, part of like the World Wide Web type of energy. But you definitely have to change something that you're resisting changing. And it's really, I get it more, it's because of your own personal attitude. It's like, you know, get away from your ego. It's like, you know, your ego is keeping you from this new vision. So, you know, let it go. Let it go. Because you can't keep going. It's a disaster if you keep going. And you know that whatever this final ending is, it's necessary because you're exhausted. You know, so I feel like if divine intervention will step in when it's time, but you can't look back, okay? Because you start to feel a sense of belonging again. So, yeah, this is something, see this card, this could be an addiction. This is one of those things people tell you to, you know, you should quit drinking. And you're like, oh, F you, I'm not going to quit drinking. I can drink like a fish, you know, kind of energy. You know, that's not helping you. That's keeping you in a real illness of alcoholism. You know, so I do get this like toxic energy here. And I get it as a very rebellious type of energy. And it's like you've got to put that down if you want to have what you really want inside of you. You know, and over here, you know, this card of conditioning, again, it's reversed. It's like, you know, you know, you don't fit with the group. That's great. You know, you're allowed your opinions, you know, but sometimes community is important. And I feel like community right here wants to help you heal. And I know you don't want to be a part, you know, and you don't want everybody to know what's probably really going on. But I feel like for you, Libra, this one in particular, I feel like there's real help if you choose to go in that direction. All right, what else do we have for our Libras, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for this new moon? So I feel like this is really about putting down some old behavioral patterns. Yeah, see, here, something has to get, it's almost like your life may have gotten out of control. Completely out of control. And you were pretending everything was really right. But I just get this sense of a tornado. You know, you were fighting every step of the way. You know, and your inner voice knew what you needed to do. Because I feel like you were involved, Libra, with someone who you knew was out of control. You know, and there was just, and it's almost like you didn't know what to do. I mean, you had lost your sense of control. Now it's time to heal. I feel like this now, sometimes things have to get out of control so that they can come into control. And you've got to listen to your inner voice about this person and make a decision. Yeah, because I feel like they're keeping you from shining your light. Whoever this is. And this is a past cycle with this person. You know, and you guys go back, way back. You guys have walked a lot of roads together. But this one's heavy. And this one's dangerous because it involves a very toxic energy here. Very toxic. And it sits here in a place where I almost feel like you take this abuse and this punishment, like, because, you know, everybody knows somebody who drinks and you wonder how they can beat their bodies up like that. you know. So and it's like, and why do you stay in abusive relationships, and why do you stay with a narcissistic person, and why do you keep smoking? It's like, this is this kind of energy, and it's keeping you from your new vision, you know. So I feel like you have to make a decision whether this is you with somebody who is doing this with you, you know, feeding your addictions and this behavior, or it's just you alone where you need to like break your own habits and your ways of being. I feel like that's where you're at, is at a point of that decision. So yeah, some dark places right now, but there's hope. So dear universe, let's get some clarity for our Libras, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs at this time. Woo. Here you are, Libra, hanging in suspension. Because it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before everything does get out of control. I mean, here you are, you know. So the King of Swords, you, Libra, you know, you want everything back into control. Well, then you have to get it into control. So I feel like it's time for you to like be this King of Swords. Grab your pole, your sword, get in control, make some solid grounded decisions, things that will work in your world, rather than hang in suspension. So something, again, has to come to an end. You know, so I think some of you continue to try. Well, maybe there's yet one more thing. And it's like, I feel like time's up. All right, Libra. Listen, it's a new moon. So here we go. Okay, confirmation of this Ten of Swords. Again, we have 2 10s here. 2 10s of Swords. So I feel like this is avoiding an ending that needs to happen. You know, and I also feel like some of you feel like you've been really stabbed in the back. You've been hurt. And this cycle continues. And I feel like if you continue to try to find more options, this will not change. You know, you need to grab control of the situation and turn this around. And whatever painful ending it is, whether it's a relationship, an addiction, a job, whatever your situation is, it's time for that. For you to make it a decision about it and put an end to anything toxic and to move on. All right. So this tower, if it hasn't fallen, it's about to blow. And you will feel like you got what you deserved, but it will turn things around and put things back into control. All right, Libra? So that's what I've got for you. I hope that resonated. If you like this video, I appreciate it. You hit the like, thumbs up button. Like, share, subscribe, donate. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it's time for you to make a decision. You know, you gotta make a decision. Either you're gonna walk away or you're not. That's on you. But time's up. All right. So that's what I've got for you, Libra. I will see you at the next reading. Until then, blessed be. Bye now.